when you are feeling these emotions, you are flat down. There is no energy. Your body has no energy to heal. It's just like, this is what I imagine despair to look like. You just sit there and you're now looping in a lot of negativity, no hope, no way of actually coming out of this very down spiral loop. Hello there. Today we're going to talk about emotions, or at least one of them, and how experiencing this emotion is actually counterintuitive or counter-helpful to healing yourself in a natural way. Before we get started, my name is Einav Avni. I'm an energy healer and alignment coach, and I believe that behind any chronic condition and any chronic illness or anything that is actually wrong with you, there is an emotional root cause. And what I mean by that is that your body knows where it is that you are going, and when it's been too long without you going there, it needs to intervene. Now, this intervention is a message from your body, and when you understand the message, you heal. It's very kind of simple, even if it doesn't sound realistic. Anyway, today I'm going to talk about emotions. In particularly, I wanted to bring the emotion of despair, because I know that a lot of the time when people going through chronic conditions, one of the emotions that they feel in their wish to heal and get better, the emotion they actually end up feeling is despair, because they get up in the morning and they check in with themselves and they see that the same pain is still here and still a problem and still a challenge. And then the next thing that happens is a thought that says, I will never heal. This will never go away. I will never get better. And really feeling the emotion of despair. Now, really, despair means no hope. So now that we have this kind of definition out in the open, let's talk about why this is counterintuitive. Because healing has to happen when your energy is raised enough to a place where that healing can happen. When you're feeling emotions of despair, fear, all of these lower ones, on purpose I'm only talking about despair and maybe fear today, is because when you are feeling these emotions, you are flat down. There is no energy. Your body has no energy to heal. It's just like, this is what I imagine despair to look like. You just sit there and you're now looping in a lot of negativity, no hope, no way of actually coming out of this very down spiral loop. But healing needs energy. Healing needs high vibrations, and healing needs to be regulated and calm and excited and all of these really very different emotions. So imagine that you get up in the morning and you're feeling despair. This is the energy that you have, which is not very high, versus the energy that needs to be healed, which is here, right? So in here there's maybe happiness and joy and connections and all of that. So what happens? How are you going to come from here to here? And this is a very good question. And we've already spoken about it many times, actually. So I'll just remind you, we're talking about joy. Joy means really coming out of that place where you are at the moment and going out and finding that thing. So when you're not feeling well, when every movement is painful and every painful movement is triggering and painful emotions and it's all really down spiral, it is really very hard to say, hey, but I'm going to find some joy. It's really challenging. But when we say go and find some joy, what I mean by that is find something that even will give you 5 minutes of not being connected to this very low energy. So, for example, there was a story, I'll just tell you. There is a very well-renowned hypnotherapist. His name was Milton Erickson. And he was very good. Like you would come to see him and he would just talk to you for about an hour. And by the end of it, you wouldn't have realized it, but you would be under hypnosis and you would be well. Quite phenomenal, really. One day, this family got in touch with Milton Erickson and said, look, the father of the family is really unwell and he's in so much pain. We don't know what to do with him because every moment is so painful and he's literally given up. So Milton Erickson said, fine, I'll go and talk to him. So he went to the hospital where this man was lying down, and he knew that this guy was very much into tomatoes. He liked growing tomatoes, and he was very knowledgeable about tomatoes and so on. So all he's done was sit with this guy, and for 2 hours he spoke about tomatoes. What types are there? When should you grow them? What are the challenges? What are some diseases that they might have? What are some pests? And 2 hours of full conversations, no hypnosis at that point. And then after 2 hours, he basically said, thank you very much, and he left. Now, the point is that in these 2 hours, the guy in hospital didn't feel pain. He didn't focus on pain. Pain was not on his agenda. It wasn't on his forefront. It was somewhere else, because he was so engrossed in a conversation about something that he really enjoyed. Now, how do we use this? Imagine the emotion that you get up in the morning and you feel despair. Well, what can we do to get you into a place where you are focused so much on something that is positive and different from your normal kind of thing, that is actually changing your energy? And what I'm trying to say also is that your nervous system is responsible to everything in your body, right? So you will not be able to heal if your nervous system is out of sync, if it's out of whack, if it's not regulated. Because if it's not regulated, it means that it's constantly trying to kind of, not estimate, but protect you and kind of be on a high alert to anticipate is the word I was looking for, what is coming, how to protect you, how to really keep you alive with the minimum of any other energy spent. So when all of your nervous system is already busy trying to look after you, there is no chance that the same nervous system is going to come and be able to heal you. It's either that or that. So you have the key, you have the answer, you have the solution. So you have to consciously realize and decide for yourself that despite the feelings that you have in your body, and despite the maybe negative emotions that you are experiencing, you are going to do something that, by doing it, gives your nervous system a chance to start slowly regulating itself. And we do that by bringing joy, by being, happy mood, happy feelings, by going outside and connecting with nature, sitting by water, fantastic, sitting in the sun, if this is the right reason, season, not reason, connecting with people, just like Milton Erickson, right? Connect with people that are interesting for you to chat with. If you need, go and watch a good feel-good movie and really immerse yourself in that, because every signal that you can give your nervous system that is actually you are safe and calm, it helps that to say, okay, so now I can start sending some healing your way. So when we talk about emotion of despair, it's really like a loop. You cannot come out of that because it is so low and no healing will ever happen. So if you want healing to happen, you need to start we need to break the loop. You need to start thinking more consciously how to bring more joy and happiness into your life. So I hope it makes sense, because when you're going through more chronic conditions and unexplained medical conditions and all of that, it's really hard. It's really hard, especially if there's so many different things that are going wrong at the same time. And it's not just this, it's also that. And by the way, it's also this and that. And now we no longer know what is even started the whole thing. And all you know is that you're so tired and exhausted, and you have no energy, and you're feeling this fear and despair. And in your mind, there is a record that says, it's never going to get better. I've tried everything. It's never going to work. What's going to happen? And I'm here to say, if you take only one thing away from this video, is that you have to break this record so that you can stop this very low energy and bring in the higher energy that brings in the healing and changes the whole trajectory. The next thing to do is, of course, starting to work on the emotional root cause. What is it that actually put you in this place? And you know what? I think it's a good idea. I will record another video to talk a little bit more about the emotional root cause and how you can really start getting back into this alignment that will get you back to healthy. Thank you for watching. If you've stayed here to the end, like, subscribe, make a comment, share this video with anyone that needs to watch it. And let's keep the conversation going, because it is so important that you and anyone you know recognize that healing has to start somewhere, and it has to start in this case by breaking the loop. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Einav Avni, and I'm looking forward to connecting soon. Bye-bye.